Greetings, traveler.
All right, so
Okay.
before we even get started, let me quickly, lay out the two different ways to draft Hunter. There's little nuances, of course, in both styles, but I would say that the overwhelming majority of the time, you'll be drafting a mid-range Hunter, just because it is arena and is more likely that you get mid-range Hunter than a Smork Hunter. So the difference is definitely curve-wise. I would say a Smork deck and a mid-range deck have very similar curves up to turn 4, because even in a mid-range deck, you're going to want a good early game to get on the board. It's after turn 4 that a Smork deck has very little there. Basically, the big cards in a Smork deck are Reckless Rocketeer, Gladiator's Longbow, just Reach. So it's more likely that you are going to be a mid-range deck just because of you might get Scribe, you might get High Main and stuff. But if you have a draft and let's say at the halfway mark, you don't really have big things yet, you have a little bit of reach and you have a good early curve, you can turn it into a Smork deck. So I'll throw that out there right now, but the overwhelming majority of the time, you will be not forcing a mid-range deck, but sort of naturally ending up in mid-range.
Okay. But still high main?
Absolutely. I'm just throwing that out there, right? Because I feel that the draft would have to go in a very, very weird way for this deck to not be mid-range after we pick a high main.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like setting you up a little bit that the draft choices are a bit easier for you if you know that, oh, we're not going to be Face Hunter.
Okay. So here, I've never played with Shimmerfly before because so far it has always been up against Haunted Creeper for me, and I think that Haunted Creeper is a little bit better, but I'm not sure. You can correct me here.
No, I'm a fan of the Creeper. My chat doesn't let me have too many Haunted Creepers, so I'll pick it when I can. I'll provide some context. We're doing a leaderboard chat draft run, so 30 runs in a row where chat drafts my decks. And we skipped the Creeper pick 2 for a Dread Infernal, and I'm still salty.
Okay.
It's pretty fun. It's been surprising. We've had some weird decks go 12, so I can't complain. It's been good.
It's pretty cool. That's a cool feature. I like that.
It's very fun.
Hogsteed, lots of initiative, lots of value.
Yeah, I agree. I think if this is like pick 29 and we only have the high main, we might pick the Ogre, right? But it's very, very early. We're very happy picking up a Hogsteed, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not the Dragonhawk, right? So it's between the Socialite and the Greaser. And I think that for me it would be the Greaser probably, although it's pretty close, just because the Greaser has, has the potential to do a lot of damage if it gets one off.
So I guess it depends more the type of minion you're looking for. So yes, Greaser could potentially deal 6 face, but I feel like a lot of the time, the way how mid-range Hunter wins is it builds a strong board and then gets to Smart with that strong board. So the archetypal minion, right, that represents mid-range for me is the Yeti. So if we can just stack Yetis on 4, or even the 3/3 wolf that spawns 2 1/1s. I really want to reserve the slots for those cards. And Socialite, if you're on the board, yes, it's a 2/2, but once again, if you do get a Yeti and you get a good trade and heal it up, it's more than acceptable. So I would even say that Socialite's better than a 2/3 when not played on curve, because a 2/3 or a 2/2 is going to be very similar later in the game, right? Maybe it doesn't light a Blizzard or Explosive Shot or whatever, but a lot of the time it's just 2 damage, and then being able to heal one of your guys is okay.
Okay.
So I'd pick it, yeah. Not a top tier pick at all, but acceptable.
This one is a little bit difficult for me.
It's a very tough pick, I agree.
I don't think it's the Shovel Fist, because it's a little bit too easy, too early in our draw to to take that huge card. And on 9, I would prefer Call of the Wild.
Call of the Wild would be a pretty good 9-mana card indeed.
I think it's the Crusader. I mean, the Hog Rider is excellent when its battle cry goes off, but on average, I think that the Crusader is slightly better.
So you're kind of always happy, right, as a hunter? So I mean, it's a bit of a reasoning, but I do like the Hog Rider. I think on average it has a better impact or a higher impact than the Crusader. I do agree that it's not Shovel Fist, although I will say that there is definitely room for a hunter archetype that does pick Shovel Fists, but I think it's a bit early for that. I think that's a hunter that gets marked shots and plays a bit more reactive. The way how I usually draft hunter, I would also go for a 5 here, and I like the Hog Rider a bit more.
Okay, cool.
But it's close. I would say that a Crusader is a good pick for a slower or for a mid-range hunter deck.
I'm wondering, is Undertaker a terrible pick here?
I like it. Got a Creeper, got a Hawksteed, might get a Web Spinner.
Oh, we got a high main.
Bit late, but yeah, for sure. No, I don't mind Undertaker. If we can make it into a 1-mana 2/2, that's super, super nice.
Well, since we're looking at countering Warlock, is Daring Reporter better than the Rhino?
I wouldn't really look at Rhino, but I generally speaking don't respect Rhino as much as a lot of other people do. And I don't know whether that's me or whether it's just, whether I'm right or wrong. But it just feels every time I have it, it's like, I just paid 5 mana for a 2/5. So I would be thinking between the Bartender and the Reporter. And for me, I look at the current curve. And I would say that we want at least 8 1 to 2 mana cards for this sort of meta, for this sort of curve. So with 4 out of 8 right now, 8 being the minimum, I don't think you need 10 if you're going to pick bad ones. But if I say have 8 cards and another Haunted Creeper presents itself, I will not skip over it just because of like, oh, I already have my 8. So I would say that I pick up to 8, and then if I get premium cards, I will take them as well. With the 4 out of, minimum 8 right now, I think we can get away with a Reporter. It's not exactly a Yeti, but it could, put a lot of pressure on them. And that's sort of the goal of the deck, right? Put a lot of pressure on them in the mid game. So Reporter is a pretty good minion to do that with.
Now you said you want a total of 8, 1,
2 mana. So not
cards.
Combined. So not 16, right? But 1 plus 2.
Right. Does that only go for Hunter, or is that a general statement?
It'll depend a bit on your deck, but I think in this meta, if you do that, you're going to get a well-balanced deck more often than not. So even if I'm playing Warlock, I really don't mind having, like 4 1-drops, 4 2-drops, or maybe even 4 1-drops, 5 2-drops, or something like that. Now, that is also how I play the game. I know that you can also draft... It depends how many reactive cards do you get. Okay. Because if you're in a meta where there are not many reactive cards, the one we are right now, I mean, you have some Hawksteeds, right? Hawksteeds are reactive. You might get a Swift Messenger or so. But I mean that we're not in a Psychic Scream meta. We're not in a Mass Hysteria meta. You might get a Dragonfire as a priest if you're lucky. As a hunter, I love Unleash the Hounds because it's a good reactive card. But most of the time, you're going to just play curve minions and try to defend yourself with that. So then if you increase the volume of 1 to 2 mana cards, it's more likely that you will be the attacker, meaning you get to dictate the traits on the board. And we all know that if you get to dictate the traits on the board, you're going to end up ahead more often than not. So the way to get around that is to have reactive cards or AoE abilities or whatnot to fix that situation. But a lot of classes don't have that luxury. So I like to then pick those early game cards to make sure that I'm the one that dictates the traits rather than just, getting wiped off the board and not being able to do anything.
Okay, cool. Here, I would definitely pick the Cult Master.
Yep, I agree. It's a good mid-range card. We have Haunted Creeper. We're going to pick Unleashed Hounds if we see it, so...
Yeah, and there's also the Scribe, right?
Yep.
Okay. So is it Swift Messenger over the Direwolf?
No, I think Direwolf's okay. We currently don't really have many things on turn 3, right? We're completely out, so it could be that we don't get enough 3 mana cards. You know, like we'd like 3, 4 3 mana cards. You might compensate then with more 1 to 2 mana cards. I don't think I've had one yet, so seems good. Yeah, we'll take Call of the Wild.
So, since you were talking about 3 mana cards, we clearly take the kill command here, right?
Well, Call of the Wild is 3 3-mana cards in 1, right? You get Leo Cuffer and Misha.
I was
So
joking. Yeah.
yeah, me too.
Okay.
I mean, it's a 9-mana card, right? But it's 3 drops, so it counts for 3. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Next.
Sure. So we have just filled our 3 mana quota. Okay.
Yeah, I just think that the argument of if it were later in the draft, we would still have to look at our deck, right? But yeah, for sure. I like Alma Hunt here. It's a very flexible card. It's very useful. Generally speaking, pings in non-ping classes are very nice. I don't hate the Prophet pick here. I think it's quite solid, but I think I would prefer the Fiery Bat based off that we have Cult Master and we have Undertaker. I think those are 2 pretty good cards to pick Fiery Bat for. Prophet is perfectly acceptable. I think if you're drafting on your own, it might even be safer to pick Prophet, but I feel this Fiery Bat pick is more like I'll figure it out, right? I'll see what the draft throws at me and then I'll make it work.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
I'm mainly picking it because I believe that the potential is higher of the Fiery Bat, but that's about it.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's a Wolf Rider. We don't have any 3s.
Wolf Rider is not a 3, right? Or at least you would not want to play it on turn 3.
Not even if you want to remove another card. I mean, you're not gonna.
I mean, you'd much rather play your own 3-drop rather than Wolf Rider, because let's say you're player 1 and they didn't coin a 3/3, then you're using 3 mana to kill off their 2-drop, right?
Yeah.
So it's mediocre at best.
Okay.
I actually like the Nerubian Egg. We do have a Direwolf, we have an Undertaker, and it's very good into Abyssal Enforcer. It's very annoying if your opponent plays a Nerubian Egg and then he gets a 4/4.
I was considering the egg. That would have been my second choice.
Good. Nerubian Egg is just a good card. There are just random AoEs, and then there is just Warlock, which has all the AoEs. So.
Right. Okay, so this one's difficult for me at least. Freezing Trap is such a good card, but so is Unleash.
I would say in this meta, Freezing is a lot worse. Lots of small minions now.
Okay.
Like just, like people have tokens and a lot more 1-drops and 2-drops, so it's not like it's a bad card, but it's not as good as it used to be, I would say.
Well, in that case, it would be definitely Unleash for me.
Yeah, for me, I would say like it's just because we have 0/3s and Animal Companion is such a premium 3. But I think Unleash is the nuts, right? It's just so good right now, so I would always pick Unleash here.
Yeah, especially since we have Cult Master and the Direwolf.
Yeah, we have cards that work well with it, and we also have Call of the Wild, which might be a weird reasoning to say that it is good, but if you have Call of the Wild, that means you have a late game plan, and Unleash helps you survive aggressive decks where if you are, a lower curve hunter, just surviving doesn't do that much. But if you have, gas like Highmane and Call of the Wild, picking cards that help you survive is quite useful.
Okay. Is it Deadly Shot?
I'd say that it's not Batterhead, and then we can talk about the other 2, because I would say Freezing Trap and Deadly Shot suffer from similar problems, right? They both don't like your opponents having small minions. So I think on my own, I would say I'll test the Freezing here, because there is an argument indeed. You can play it into the Burly turn, right? The one where they're going to Shovel Fist you. That's pretty annoying. You get an 11 mana Shovel Fist back. The Deadly Shot's better for Taunt. I do really like getting a Silence. Silencer 2 is phenomenal in mid-range hunter right now. Super strong. Because it's like a Deadly Shot that always hits, right? You get to silence whatever you want. If you silence an Apple Bomb, they don't get the healing. If you silence a Safeguard, they don't get the 0/5. There's a couple premium silence targets out there right now. So for aggressive decks, it's really good. So I guess that is the toss-up. Deadly Shot is a bit better versus Taunt because you can't Freezing Trap a Taunt, right? Unless you pass the turn and hope they attack, but they probably won't. Whereas Freezing Trap is better against things that aren't Taunt.
But I mean, looking at our cards so far, I would say that I mean, we are probably going to be on the board somewhat, right? So so isn't, well, that would be my reasoning at any rate.
Well, it's an argument for both of them, right? If you're on the board, you get to manipulate Freezing Trap and Deadly Shot a lot better.
Well, but if you are on the board and the other guy just has small stuff, then yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. It's just, it's kind of bad for both of them, right? Yeah. So that's why it's a tough pick. They suffer from the same problem, and
well,
whether
right. But if you're on the board and the other guy just drops a large taunt, then Freezing Trap doesn't help you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is the reasoning that we will end up picking Deadly Shot, is that just in case of he doesn't have a board and he plays a taunt, and you know, but yeah, sort of reluctantly.
Okay. Reckless Rocketeer for Reach?
Yep. I'm not like a huge fan of Reach and Hunter, but there's a couple ones that I will very gladly pick. Call of the Wild, obviously. Longbow and Rocketeer. I think those 3 Reach cards are pretty... I mean, Unleash is also Reach, but it's not pure Reach, right? And it's also nice for the Cult Master and just for counter AoE and all that.
What about Commander?
I'm not sure exactly what's up against them. Is Commander in the high main bucket? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, that depends. Like that'll make...
Okay.
I don't end up with too many Commanders in my Hunter deck, so maybe it's in a very high bucket. All right.
It's not the Soldier of Fortune. Because Hogsteed is so good, but I don't know if Hogsteed is better than Hunter's Mark here.
I'd say all of them are still on the table because you are a mid-range deck, and a 4-mana 5/6 is pretty good. And you might say, well, you give them coins. If you get to hit them in the face twice, that's a Pyroblast. Hunter enjoys Pyroblast. So not saying that it is a Soldier of Fortune, but don't discount him too fast.
Okay.
I do think that he got hit with a pretty unfair bucket here for him, because he's usually nowhere near up these guys. So I think that we can indeed get 4 drops at a much cheaper cost, or lower cost rather. So I do think that we won't pick him, but don't rule him out too fast in other packs, just because it's a bit scary to give him a coin, but a 5/6 for 4 is pretty solid. So for Hunter's Mark, we have 1 Hogsteed, we have Haunted Creeper, we have Unleash the Hounds. I think I'd probably end up with Hunter's Mark because of that, but it's a close one.
We also have On the Hunt, right?
We do have On the Hunt. And I guess Fiery Bats to an extent, if you want to be pro, just trade something and Death Rattle into the mark. All right. So I'm good with the mark. It's like a semi-silence as well.
I like Frost Elemental.
I think we still need enough 4-mana cards, and Frosty is okay, but we have a high main and a Rocketeer, and I think if we pick Frosty, we're sort of lock ourselves out of picking Scribe if it shows up, and Scribe's usually very pickable. So I think I would reserve the last, because I think if I look at the deck right now, I have 1 more slot that I'm willing to dedicate to a 6-mana card, unless the draft really forces me. So unless that is the case, I would stay away from it and just pick the Engineer.
Okay, fair enough. Ooh, okay.
Helicat is really good.
Just wondering if it would make our deck too fast.
I think our deck probably wants the Spectral Knight here, but it's super close. I'm not out of it yet. We do have a Dire Wolf, and we have Cold Master, so those are two very redeeming factors for Alley Cat.
So
it depends on
Alley Cat and Knight for you, not explosive.
Yeah, I'm not looking at Explosive Shot. I feel like we have sufficient reactive cards. We have Hawk's Teeth, Mark, Unleash. We got the On the Hunt. I want to make sure that and the Deadly Shot. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. We want to make sure that we have enough proactive cards as well. I think we have to pick Spectral Knight just because we're extremely short on 3-drops as well. So turn 5, we really need to play a 5 because we're not going to get a 3 and a 2.
Okay.
So I think that's the deciding factor for me, but very close, very close.
Fairly easy Spellbreaker here.
Yeah, I don't skip Silence right now. It's super good in Hunter. Yeah, we don't even have to talk about the Weblord. I think the Squire is the clear better early game card. I think Weblord has its use because it blocks Abyssal Enforcer and it makes lackeys worse. So it definitely has its place in the meta. But Squire is just all around super solid. So let's just compare it to Squire to Safeguard.
Well, simply because we already have a decent early game. Why do we want to take another 1/1?
We have 0 3-drops, so
okay.
We are currently still hurting for early game. So I would say that you're trying to play at least, a 2-drop on turn 3 if you don't have any 3-drops, preferably a 1-drop and a 2-drop, or at the bare minimum a 1-drop and a Hero Power, because just Hero Power turn 3 sucks. So that would be my main reasoning that in favor for picking more early game. But also Safeguard, I feel it just doesn't do anything for us.
Okay.
Like we want to keep that last. Okay, so first of all, if we don't get a single big card anymore, that would be okay for me. That is not the end of the world. But if I get a Scribe on top of this high main for my turn 6, I would also, I'd be pretty happy with that. But it's not like I will just frantically pick a late game card because I see the end of the draft is approaching and I feel like I need to make up for that.
Here it's not Kill Command for me.
I agree.
So it's either Animal Companion or the Eaglehorn Longbow. And I think the Eaglehorn is a slight bit better, even though we don't have any secrets.
Yeah, I think this one's a bit tougher. I think my instinct is moving me towards Animal Companion, but why is that? I think it's because we have a decent amount of reactive cards right now, and I just want proactive stuff. We've got the On the Hunt, we've got the Hawk's Teeth, we've got the Hunter's Mark, we've got the Deadly Shot, we've got the Unleash, we've got the Spellbreaker, we've got the Rocketeer, and then there's another late game cards. So I think right now I just want cards that I can dump sort of no matter what. And you can make the argument that you can do that with bow, but equipping a bow and not attacking with it is quite a bit less impactful on the turn than jamming an Animal Companion. So pretty close. But yeah, I think in the end the amount of reactive cards makes me want the proactive card in the animal.
Okay. Whew.
I'm quickly pointing out to this Senjin, by the way, right? If you look at the curve right now and you look at that Senjin, you're like, whew, I'm glad I have, at least 3 playable 4-drops now, because Cult Master and Breaker don't really count. So our turn 4 is looking to be okay if we add maybe 1 more 4-drop, whereas if we had skipped over Senjin, I would feel that I need both this 4-drop and this 3-drop.
Do we pick Carrying Grub here to solidify our
We're
position?
really happy adding another 3 to the roster for sure. Galp, thank you for the 21 months, man. Welcome back. I see a lot of hunters. I see a lot of hunters use Infest against me, and it's almost always the turn where I start winning because they let up the pressure. I think Hunter, the meta game is fast enough right now for Infest to be bad. I think a lot of the time you should be just pressuring the board and hero powering rather than setting up for some random beasts in your hand.
Yeah, probably, especially since we already have
got a Cult Master, and we got a Call of the Wild for late game as well. So for me, it's between the Hawksteed and the Reporter, based on. So I would quickly have a look at what we have for Hawksteed. Cult Master's pretty good with it. Hunter's Mark's pretty good with it. Direwolf's pretty good with it. Could get a Leok, Undertaker. It's close-ish, but I think I would pick Hawksteed, and then maybe we get another random 4-drop later. Because one more 4-drop and I'm fine.
Well, there we go.
Probably. We do only have 2 3-drops as it stands, so we definitely don't hate picking a grub. I would say that the Cookie Chemist is the better card. So I think in the end I agree with picking Chemist, but close. Just hoping for maybe one more. Oh my god. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so yeah, I like it. So our deck just got a whole lot better with those last few picks helping out.
Okay, Unleash the Beast.
I think that this draft was really good to showcase how, because we actually had this same or similar talk with chat earlier, how I don't even know how it started, but I think there was a comment in chat that I care a bit too much for curve early. And I think that it might come across as I care too much for curve early, but it's just that it's on my mind. And I'm constantly thinking, okay, how do I evaluate this card right now based on the curve I have in mind? And am I willing to sacrifice a little bit in power level in order to make the draft smoother later? And I think this is a great example of how we said, okay, I pick this high main and I'm leaving this 6-drop slot open for something that I really want. So it's going to be a premium card, or I'm just going to have the high main. Because I think a lot of the time when people draft decks, they end up with too much late game too early because they are afraid to not have enough, and it ends up being of lower quality than it could have been. And I think this is like a really, really tight lineup if our late game cards are Call of the Wild, Unleash the Beast, High Main, and Rocketeer. I think that's perfect, right? Those are 4 cards that are very good in Hunter. So I really like how the draft ended up, where we can just pick Unleash the Beast now and not worry. So really cool. Ooh, baby. Very nice.
Okay, I want to pick Mark Shot.
I'll first play a run with me with double Unleash and then talk about Mark Shot again afterwards.
Well, I want to pick Mark Shot, and then I will discover Unleash the Hounds.
Or we can get Explosive Trap with the 1 mana, make your beast invulnerable, and some other trash card.
No, that's not going to happen. Okay, you really like Unleash the Hounds?
It's insanely good. It's insanely good. Just trust me on this one. Unleash is the nuts right now. Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, so it's second Savannah High Main.
So I would say that after picking that second Unleash, it becomes more likely that we can support 2 high mains, because a lot of the time if you pick 2 high mains and the other, I mean, I feel like we did the right pick picking the Rush guy, right? It was like pick 27 or something. But if you have 3 6-drops plus a Rocketeer plus a Call of the Wild, it might end up a touch too heavy. But then because you have the 2 Unleash the Hounds to counter the early aggressive decks, it really, really works out. Now, that's not to say that Houndmaster wouldn't be good in this deck. We got Grub, which is probably one of the best targets on curve. 2 Animal Companions. You've got 2 Hawksteeds. You've got a Creeper. There's a Direwolf Alpha, Fiery Bat early. So I think in a different pack, Houndmaster would have had a legit shot at making the deck. But it's really hard to beat a high main.
Why doesn't that seem fair?
I said that seems like a fair division of labor. 6 and 6, right? I feel like this Fiery Bat pick, by the way, it was a little weird, right? At the time, but I think it worked out so well, given that we have the 2 high mains now.
Okay.
So you can just tell me what you want, right?
I just want to keep the bat, and I want to toss the rest.
Yep, let's do it.
What does the bat have to do with our high mains?
If you pick a lot of early game, the fear is that you run out of cards. If you have two high mains, the fear is that you get wrecked on the board. They cover each other's weaknesses.
Okay.
Yeah, it's indeed not a very easy thing to say. Why is this? Why is it like a no card in my list? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Three no's. What the fuck? Deck tracker's crashing the entire time. Perfect. What do you say?
Well, apparently deck tracker didn't update.
Oh, you're oh, because the thing. Okay. Eh. All right. What do you want to do here?
I just want to hit his face, and I want to trade my bat into.
Yep. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think you have an old version. It's the Hawksteeds, yeah.
Normally it asks you if you wanna update, right? And,
yeah, I guess we're not gonna have a tracker then. That's fine.
Oh jeez. Well, we Hawksteed.
Yep, pretty rough opener so far.
We chemist the 2-1.
Yep. Currently not much to talk about so far. Pretty rough game. Voidwalker into our bat. We whiff our 2-drop and the bat misses the Voidwalker. It's pretty much worst case scenario. But there's a high main in the hand. Maybe it's good enough. Lackeys are another reason why Freezing Trap and Deadly Shot are just a lot worse right now. So much little stuff. Oh, come on, dude. Oh, what the fuck? I should have rushed the 1-1. At least he messed it up. I think we have to because we have Deadly in the hand as well, right? So I think we just unleash Hero Power and push 1, trade the 1-1s. And this is just exactly what I'm talking about, right? That synergy with you have the high mains, you just want to stay alive, the Unleash helps you deal with wide spreads. Now, in this case, Mark Shot would have been, you know, as good if not better because he has a 4-4. But there's a lot of cases where they're going to have a big spread.
So I want a high main here and then silence on next turn.
Yeah, we're so screwed, but yeah, high main pass. I mean, the opener was so brutal, right? He's got a semi-perfect curve, and we skip turn 2, and our 1-drop gets countered. It's like, okay then, my man. What can you do, huh?
We silence the 4-4. We kill the 6-6. And then we Deadly Shot the 4-3. Well, then we Deadly Shot. We don't know which one's gonna be it.
That wouldn't make sense because you Deadly Shot before you'd kill the 6-6, right? Because high main can kill either as well. So if we're doing that, that would be the play. I'm just quickly checking if there's a world where we get the Senjin out. And no, I don't think so. Whew.
I don't get it. We want to make sure that the 6-6 dies, right? Because our high main dies at any rate.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see what I mean. So silence the 4-4, and then Deadly first.
Your magic shall not save.
And now you kill the 4-4.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're just increasing the chance that he's left with a 4-3 instead of a 4-4. If you Deadly first. It's a minor thing, but there's just no reason. Yay! Good moves, my man. Strong plays. Appreciate that. It's just the full broke back experience, right? And normally you can counter this, but he curved better than we did, which is super frustrating.
Senjin, Hunter's Mark, and Socialite or Face.
That was my initial play, but as sad as it seems, it might be better to Hunter's Mark and Rocketeer it. Just because if you Senjin and he trades into the Senjin, well, first of all, you're dead if he removes, right? So that's the first downside. But second of all, it's like even if everything goes according to plan, I mean, he just kills with another Abyssal, maybe, whatever. But it means he won't have a taunt anymore. I feel like the taunt is more important. Alright, so let's think about a world where we can win. We top deck an Unleash or a Call of the Wild next turn. Spreads here. I feel in most cases, it's like Socialite our face and Hero Power. What do you think? Like after Senjin. I think Senjin happens, right? Otherwise we're dead on board, so we could play that.
If Senjin does not happen, we're just dead because we're down to 2 HP, right? And he just kills us. So Senjin always happens. Yeah, probably Socialite and Healer Face.
I think so too. Because I think the Socialite ends up killing the Scribe, and then we hit Unleash or something. I wonder if I can get my tracker up and have it not track your deck. Don't crash immediately, deck tracker. No. Don't crash. Just, it's not allowing me to not. Fuck's sake. Alright, we're dead. Scoop. So I can't use my tracker because it's. Yeah. Am I just locked out of using my tracker forever?
Is it going to work if I update the deck tracker now?
I think I would just keep the grub in this deck. The others are pretty underwhelming, and I think we can get a good enough curve. Like you want to play, oh perfect. You want to play something on 1, right? So on the hunt is like Elven Archer. I think we can do better than Elven Archer. So it's either double 2 into Carrying Grub, or it's 1 into double 3, or 1 into 2/3, and then coin a 5 or whatnot.
Okay. Are you spectating now? Or?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
It's weird because I was on spectating mode, and then it just was like, yeah, like Krag is doing battle in arena. And I was like, oh, cool. May as well show it to me then.
Coin Companion.
It's not bad, but I think I prefer Coin Grub, mainly because it sets up for a better Leok.
And we hit the totem.
It might be a wasted damage. I think it's still hit face. Because with Hunter, every point matters. Like if we Leok next turn, we'll probably do it that way anyway, right? Yep.
Is it too greedy not to give him the Huffer?
So the thing you're afraid of is Storm, if you do that.
Yeah.
But if he Storms on turn 4, he overloads his turn 5, he can't play a 4-mana 7/7, and your turn will just be Cookie, kill the totem into Spec Knight, which is probably fine. Whereas if you give him the Huffer and he plays a 7/7, you're stuck Deadly Shotting on turn 4, and it's kind of weird. So I would definitely greedy trade and push 4. I let him storm this for sure, no problem. So if you're an aggressive deck, yeah, you need to avoid too big of a swing, but a lot of the time in avoiding that, you're going to make like a really bad or weird play, which we don't really want to. No, I don't think Unleash is that great. Can you talk me through your thought process? Like why Unleash? Over Cookie, that is?
Well, Unleash would clear the board, and at least we get 3 targets out of Unleash, right? So, oh, and our Huffer would survive. And this way, he doesn't. So so the alternative play is Chemist, the Totem, kill one of the 2/2s, and keep pushing face.
You can Chemist the Huffer. I think that the 2/1 always kills a 2/2, so you can start with that. And I think I'm okay with Chemist the Huffer first, and then trade the 2, rather than 4 face and then Chemist, just because he can't kill the 1/1 then. And then face again. So that's the main thing here. I think the main question this turn is, are you pushing 4 face with the Huffer and then turn him into a 2/4? Or do you trade with a 2/4? I think you trade with the 2/4, because if he kills your 1/1 for free, it's a little annoying. You don't really want to waste damage there then.
Okay. So now we give him the Huffer and play the Spectral Knight and push 5 face.
Yeah, the alternative would be to clean up the totem and free kill the fairy because of Deadly Shot. Let's see. I think it is better to give him the Huffer and push 5, so we can do that. We need to push enough damage so Walking Fountain is not enough of a problem.
That's an 8 drop, right?
Yep. It's the Wind Fury guy with lifesteal. It's very, very problematic.
A stranger will offer you aid.
Bring me steel.
Well, I think I would.
I would too. Yep. Just Hound's hero power. Because now he's got to kill everything. Or taunt us out from dealing 1 more phase. And I think this is the play around the fountain. It's kill him the turn right before. If he manages to remove everything here.
We don't play a minion.
Exactly. We just hero power. So. But it depends a little bit, you know, are you going to be dead to him bloodlusting or not, right? I think you're just having a bit of fun here. That doesn't go face. Silly goose. Hey Zangetsu. But if it's not being used, then...
Yeah, but it's still giving me the no. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, but you have... do you have it in your list? The one we just pasted?
Yeah.
So right-click that one. And then the third option should say use deck. And then it should use that one instead. But have you updated deck tracker or not? Because if you haven't, then it won't work, of course, because your deck tracker doesn't recognize the new cards.
Right. Well, no.
Okay.
We'll
do without then. We'll do without.
Update. I'll just
All right.
have to figure it out after we play. Okay. So I would dump your everything except for Animal Companion.
Yep, I agree. Would you pick a Fountain or a 4-mana 7/7 as a first pick? It depends what I'm messing around with, but 4-mana 7/7 is definitely the standard and the safer pick.
So let's suppose that he totems on...
Whoa. We didn't even talk about coining a 2, right?
Should we have? Oh, sorry.
Little
Okay.
bit, right? If you find a 2-drop now, or a play. I'm not saying it's always correct, right? I'm just saying that in a deck with lots of 2s, because you can either skip turn 1 guaranteed, or you can maybe skip turn 2. And then even a skip, it will be a hero power.
Okay.
So it's fine. Like I think it'll work out, so don't worry about it. Don't stress it. Because in this case, we would have like just on the hunted and already pushed 2, which would have been okay. But I mean, that's results-oriented thinking, of course. Anyways, let's continue. So what would you do this turn?
I would coin out the animal companion.
I think that's fair. Get a bit of initiative on that.
We
Yep.
get face.
Send it face. Smart.
So, despite not having a 2-drop, you would have a second 2-drop.
I would have definitely considered it, yeah, because skipping turn 1 on the coin as a hunter is a very awkward feeling, because you want to get pressure in, right?
Wow.
Another huffer. Smirk. Dimitri. Make your face.
So we play Hogsteed, 1 totem, and then we on the hunt the other totem?
Definitely on the hunt, the 1/1. So we can start with that. We just drew an alternative. We could direwolf if we like to. If he storms us on 4, is that okay? Kind of is, right? Yeah, I think I just direwolf, push the 1 extra phase, and let him have the totem. It's not many punishes for a totem. Flame Tongue for 3, but once again, if that's what he does on his turn 3, then okay. Or if turn 4, he spends the 3 mana there. Why not Super Chev? I'm guessing he's got a thing from below, right? Oh, come on.
We Hogsteed the 0/2, we kill the totem and we heal our face.
Yep. So he's summoned 3 totems so far. So he's got a 3 mana 5/5 taunt in his hand right now. That is the expectation, right? With him toteming so consistently. So we could see a 3 mana 5/5 this turn. I don't know if he's trying to get it cheaper or what's going on. Like, maybe he's got 2 of them in his hand and he's like, screw it, I'm going for more. Yep, AC's fine. Another huffer. Yeah, it's always hero power, always face with the huffer, always face with the 2/1. And then would you like to trade the 1/1 or not?
I think every little bit of damage matters, right?
That's true, but like there's really not much downside to this trade, and it keeps your 2/1 from being popped, right? So I think I would still take it.
Okay.
But it's because it's like if he plays thing from below here, we just unleash the beast, right, and push 8, and it's fine. Yeah, those little trades, I think they end up mattering because you, like, yeah, you push a little less damage, but you give your opponent less resources to do things with. Yeah, so now we keep an extra 1/1, which recovers 1 damage from the 2 we missed, but we still have a 1/1 on board, which may end up mattering.
So, high main.
Absolutely, yeah. Because if he hexes that or he hexes Unleash the Beast, it's pretty similar in terms of tempo. Yeah, he gets more value on the high main, but it means we keep a lot more initiative, so it's totally fine to jam the high main.
We shall end this disturbance.
We just play 6 mana 5/5 on the board, or we play a Senjin and hero power.
I think Senjin Hero Power makes way more sense, for sure. It's racially charged. Oh my god. I didn't even think about it in that way until you brought it up, Superchev. I feel like sometimes people are just looking for a way. But I'm like, Black Swimmers has been a sub for like super long, and like I'm not even sure what it means, but I was definitely not thinking of it in a racist context. I feel like a lot of the time people are just really reaching to try and make things racist. I don't know. Maybe I'm not sensitive enough, but I feel like a lot of people are like way too sensitive.
What are we talking about?
I have a person on my friend list called Black Swimmers, and someone says you should probably not have that on your friend list as a streamer. But God, I mean, soon you can't even talk about colors in general because you're a racist.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's too much for me. It's whatever. I can't handle that shit.
Unleash, kill the 3/5 and push 8.
Yeah. Unleash and Unleash are both. So let's call it Unleash the Beast and Unleash the Hounds for the run. Just so we don't have a misunderstanding at some point. But yeah, this is a super solid turn now. Yeah, Black Swimmers, don't worry, man. Like I said, you've been a sub for ages, and I assumed it was from something that I just hadn't played or seen or whatever. But whatever. It happened, move past it. We play in a game here.
So here we just keep the bat.
Yep, looking good. Try to get animal companions again. Or, you know, I main Cold Master and Call of the Wild. That's practically animal companions.
Do you need a blessing?
Alright, guys. Let's call it. There we go.
How good is Priest at the moment?
So I don't like it as much, but win rate wise, I think it's number 3 right now. I think that Priest right now it's hard to do something wrong with Priest, because Priest is draw the curve, play the curve, and he just plays Talon Priest next turn, and then he's like, yay, I win the game. But I feel as a good player, I can't affect the game as much as with other classes. I feel like with Warlock or with Hunter, I can make decisions that matter more. With Priest, it more feels like, well, I'm either going to hit my curve and win or not and lose.
Okay, we Hogsteed, we hit the 2/4.
And then we're good at the game, right? I agree.
And then our bat kills the 2/4.
And the 2/1, yep.
Hopefully, yeah.
I mean, with confidence, we'll hit it. We missed 150-50 already. We can't be that unlucky, right? There we go. So now Talon Priest doesn't hit, which is huge. He probably didn't expect that to happen, right? He's like, what? You cleared that?
We must cleanse the sun.
Oof. I might not have hit it myself. I definitely don't mind the suggestion. I think a 1-3 or a 2-3 is quite the difference in yeah, we got the Cold Master, right? So 1 power, 2 power, quite a big difference.
Pay attention, class.
Pay attention, class. Yeah, our draw was very awkward, and he came out of the gates very fast, right? He had Priestess, Servant, and then he would have hit the Shattered Sun if we not hit the bat. So, and now he curves again. So our plays are awkward, but we just need to hang on until high main Call of the Wild. So
Yeah,
just
but what
think,
do we do?
just think out loud, right? Well, I mean, we have 2 options the way I always see it, right? You play a Cult Master and you kill the 1-3, or you play Unleash Downs Undertaker and you kill the Teacher.
Yeah, Exactly, those are the options.
So which one feels the least bad?
I think playing Unleash and Undertaker feels the least bad here.
Yeah, I agree. And I just hope no Nova, right? Nova is the counter. Because you have a Cult Master in your hand. It's not completely
Kill the
impossible.
3/5, right?
The teacher, yes. The teacher and push one face, please. Let's go, go, go. Hey, we got him. Alright, so it's not completely unreasonable to assume we're going to draw 1 or 2 cards next turn. I mean, there's a lot of things he can do where we won't. But at least this way, there is a hope for a decent turn. Whereas I think if you just give up your Cult Master, right? It's just bad. So this way you also kill his teacher. His health buffs are going to do less. So if you're dealt a sort of bad hand versus someone who's straight up curving 1, 2, 3, 4 as player 1, then you have to work with what you got. And is that it? That'd be perfect, right? Oh my god. So first of all, yay, he didn't do anything. Second of all, what the fuck, he didn't do anything. So we start thinking, what does he have? Dragonfire is my first thought when I see this, right? Because I feel like if he had a Holy Nova, I would have just Holy Nova and cleared this. So I'm assuming there may be a Dragonfire in his hand. That's the first thing that comes to mind if I see this pass on turn 5.
Right.
I don't think that holds us back, right? We just Cult Master go face, and if he Dragonfires, we'll play High Main. If he plays a minion, we might trade into it. So, but that would be the first thing. Because whenever an opponent does this, right, it's a bit double-sided. Like, you're happy he didn't do anything, but at the same time, like, what is he holding? It could just be that he has, you know, Divine Spirit, Inner Fire, Shadow Madness, and some other card that he just couldn't play. That's always possible. What was the Warlock score? 3 and 3 police? No. 0 win police. The Warlock run went 0 wins. With 1 loss, but...
I think I'm okay giving him our 3 cards and drawing 2 and playing High Main.
Absolutely. Looks pretty good, right? Yep. Yeah, I think normally you would think about doing something else, right? But because the minion is the death rattle, it's like a statue death rattle, right? It's better to just get rid of it and then High Main. It's pretty solid. Yeah, exactly, right? Samsim, you're like, haha, the priest didn't do anything. And then you're like, wait, the priest didn't do anything. What's he doing? What's happening? When in doubt, add more High Main to the board.
Yeah.
Because even if he Dragonfires, you get a bunch of 2/2s, right? So it's not so bad. Ah, okay. Now it's bad. Okay, so now Dragonfire becomes officially scary. Sorry for yelling, but I'm not sure if that was too loud. What? You're losing me, my dear priest. I don't know what the plan is.
I kind of just want to play Wolf and Hogsteed and Hero Power, kill the 4/3, and push a total of 15 phase.
17 phase with Hero Power and Dog. But there's a little bit of an ordering thing here. What do you have to do first?
I first need to drop the Wolf, then my 6/1 and my 1/1 hit the priest in the face, then I drop the Hogsteed.
Stealing the buff. Yeah, okay, good. As long as you do that, we're good. You could... Okay, I would have put it on the other side. Not that it matters, honestly. It's like we're probably getting cleared anyway. It's just that the way how you would put it is that you could... See, if you need to sack a 2/1, you can always do that already because you have a 2/1 next to the dog. But now if you want 7 damage, it gets weird. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's fine, it's fine, it's no problem. It's like this minor thing that may somehow cost us 1 damage.
Let the hunt begin. Bring it on.
But I see what you're trying to do with the egg and I like it. So, egg and cookie's fine.
Oh well, at least we got another 4/4.
Yeah, but I think that especially if you're gonna have a bit of a slower plan, it's okay to, you know, try to get that 1 drop.
So just for the record, we're not coining the egg here.
No. It's a cheeky hand. We kept the cheeky hand, so.
You've already busted my chops once, so...
Well, that is true. Merps would coin the egg. The egg is 0 damage. Merps would not draft the egg. Stop spreading these lies around soon. Alright, get him, Eggy. If you silence your own amalgam, what kind of creature is it? Silencing doesn't remove any tags.
So we proceed with the plan, right?
Coins a cookie. Yeah, Dark Iron Dwarf here would be the nuts. But cookie's okay. So after turn 3, we have 2 4/4s. He has a 3/2 and a 3/3, so we're looking okay right now. If he gives us a good use for On the Hunt, we might go Animal Companion. If not, we might just flip his ooze to take less damage on one of our guys. See what he does. Yeah, why don't you trade with that first, my man? That's entirely your own fault. Come on, man. And those are the guys that complain like, man, I'm never lucky. Fucking Hearthstone. Think out loud, right? What's going through your head?
Well, I was looking... well, maybe Animal Companion and On the Hunt is actually not bad.
I went through a similar thing, and it's not bad, but it makes next turn significantly more awkward, right? Because next turn we have Creeper Companion. So I think I would probably just flip his Bomber to make our guy take less damage.
And we kill his larger minions, we leave the beasts.
Probably. You can kill the Bomber already, I think that's a good trade. Just thinking if it makes sense to trade anything else. Yeah, you can kill the Zip Gunner. I think face is also okay, but trade is fine, trade is fine. What's the 3/3 Death Rattle? It gives one of the minions in his hand +2/+2. Not a bad card at all. Hey, trade worked out. Looks like he's got a 3 mana or less.
It looks like a decent deadly shot, doesn't it?
That it does. So you would Creeper, trade, deadly?
I would, yeah.
Let's trade and deadly already, and then we can work on positioning. I don't think it really matters yet. Our Direwolf's still in the deck. I guess I would put Creeper on the left, because if we Animal Companion, it spawns on the right. And you usually want Creeper on an edge, but meh. It's like minor thing.
No, I mean, good to mention it. Doesn't hurt at least.
Yep. Now, if your cookie was still 4, it would make his explosive shots a bit too good, so then I think I might trade differently.
So here, I think I would play the Cult Master. and on the hunt and the squire and kill the ogre.
I don't think that's bad at all. My first instinct was we could Animal Companion, free kill the 1/1, just go face, and then next turn on the rebound Cold Master. But it's a pretty decent Cold Master. So I just Cold Master, draw the cards, and see what's up.
Join or die, or both.
Yep. Yep. And then you can put the Squire on... Where would you put the Squire, actually?
I would put the squire between the cult master and the 1/1s. Actually, it might be bad. I would put the squire on the very edge.
Yeah, on the far right. I like that too. Generally speaking, it's good to put Divine Shields and Death Rattles on the edges for Direwolves, because they block the train. I think that between Cult Master and a 1/1 is okay as well. Just anywhere that's not in the middle of the 1/1s. Because in the middle of the 1/1s is the worst one. You just block yourself with the Direwolf train.
Mm.
Yeah, my cards. See, he knows about the Unleash. Wow. Deal. My main problem is Marked Shot. If he Marked Shots your Misha and trades your Wolf, you're super sad. So I think I might just Spellbreak his guy to put 4 power out, so that Marked Shot doesn't make us too sad. Also, Wolf and Unleash is a nice combo. Probably not gonna get it though, but I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed at Marked Shot killing Misha and then free kill the dog. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a Marked Shot, I guess. Alright.
Okay, so thought process. We could free kill his Gurubashi using the dog and Unleash. Alternatively, we just put out the Reporter and kill his 4/4.
Talk to me about the other play and from start to finish. So you put the Direwolf down, you Unleash, and then what does what?
Then my Spellbreaker hits him for 5. One of the unleashed dogs kills him.
You can start. You can start that line. So Direwolf, Unleash, trade, and then the last dog. What is that one doing?
The last one's going face.
No, it pre-hits the dwarf. Do you see why? And then hero power. Because otherwise he, I guess because you're gonna get a Leok next turn, it doesn't really matter that much. But I guess this also plays around Hosen and stuff. Huh, okay. I'm assuming he was killing your dog there, right?
Okay, so now we use the dog to kill his 4/2.
We attempt to, yeah. See what happens.
It's not freezing. It's gonna be explosive.
Very likely.
So now we set off the explosive.
Maybe. I guess we do. Wait. You're just playing on your own. I wasn't even okay with proccing the explosive yet.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I said maybe. I don't hate it, right? But I wasn't done yet. So, does it make sense to play Call of the Wild over the Reporter plus the Hawk?
Nah, probably not.
It's probably better to first, because then next turn Leok affects 3 bodies that can attack already, right? So I think it's better to play the 5 and 4. And then next turn we hit him with Call of the Wild. And if you're doing this, you can see that there is a world where the Breaker lives. And then the Breaker pre-trades something. I think this is fine though. You save health on your Reporter, you save health on your Piggy, it's okay. But it's not a matter of, oh, always proc the explosive. So, but I think it's fine. Like, honestly, this is probably the better one.
Squire, attention.
I'm not sure if you miss damage overall, but this is definitely more utility, Tasso.
So we play Unleash now.
Call the Wild, yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine, it's fine. Just put it down and let's
We
talk
play
about the board.
Unleash the Wild now, right?
Unleash the wild. Unleash the animals. Unleash the companions.
The Reporter kills the 2/2.
Does it? What's the 2/2 gonna do?
For me,
What is the 2/2 gonna do?
it's gonna kill Leok next turn.
It's gonna stare at the Misha and be like, geez, I wish this guy didn't have taunt.
So in that case, our Hog Rider kills the 4/4.
Yep. And then ship the rest face. You gotta use taunt, right? Let taunt do its thing. Use taunt to go face.
See,
Right.
I told you.
But he's dead if he does that, right? Or how much is he off? We got 15? Yeah.
I think he's one off, right?
No, whoa. Okay, so there's one that's not lethal here. Let's go. Hey. But yeah, especially when you're playing Hunter in the later stages of the game. Because that was a fast queue.
Yeah, I had already queued.
Yeah, no worries, no worries, no worries. Alright, what do you want to do?
Oh, I want to toss the Cult. Keep the rest.
Yep, 1 and a 2 looks good. And then just play the 1 train. Hey, I said you could play the 1. We're good. There's BRB as well, maybe. You there, Buzz?
Yeah, I'm there.
Alright, let's play the 1. Let's go. Cheers goes Beaver. Glad you're liking it.
Yeah, so we just play the Hogsteed here.
Yep, it's basically a fancy loot hoarder.
We just go face in hero power.
Yep. And you can pass, right? Okay.
What fools these mortals be!
Well, that's useful. Send your face.
Send in face.
Alright, 10 damage dealt. Should be in a pretty bad spot by the time he gets to Abyssal. Oh, that's so good for us. God, I love this pig, man. It's so good.
That's, yeah. Speaking of bad positions.
Yep. Piggy push 2. If the Sinjin lived, the pig could have gone face, right? Because the pig doesn't have to trade the taunt. It just gets charged. That's good, yeah.
But I mean, still.
Still really good, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So we use Rocketeer.
This is where silence is just the nuts, man. It's so amazing. Yeah, Rocketeer. We're pushing 7, so he's taking 3, he's still on 15. It's not bad.
Job done.
Looks like Animal Companion and Cookie Chemist.
Yep.
To my side.
Huffer would have been pretty cool. Get the
Yeah.
smack. Get the smack's 9 phase. Still a really, really, really good spot to be in.
Run! I will hold them off.
This is just unfair.
Ransu was complaining that the game played itself, and it actually did. This game actually just played itself. But, I mean, you can see why I like Hunter versus all the Warlocks. It matches up quite nicely. Well, to be fair, if the game had played itself... I would be 7 without Leok. You're right, you're right, you're right.
The hunt begin.
A Rouge.
Do we keep the bat and the Hogsteed, or?
So the bat for sure. It's just, if he daggers it, I'm not sure if I want a Hogsteed. It looks bad, right? So I think just bat is fine. And then maybe we find 2-3 drops, maybe we find a Haunted Creeper. So specifically for Rogue, this seemed like an awkward Hogsteed. Oh, cool. We lose. Nice. Rogue with a zombie chow on one. How nice. Yep. Fiery bat. But yeah, it's... it's gonna be an extremely uphill battle from here on out.
Yeah, looks like it. Looks like it.
We're gonna need to do something like Call of the Wilds later on to get back in here. Oh, we even whiffed the thing. You gotta be kidding me.
Crap.
Alright, let's think about this one. I think I would coin the AC and pray for Misha, or at least a Leok. And then turn 3 we can play Hench Clan. Well, it's not Huffer. Misha. Okay.
It's Leok, yeah.
It's not the absolute worst, right? But now you have a... Now you have like an Wolf Rider Plus in your hand. I think if we skip turn 2, we're screwed. Oh my god, dude. Could you fucking not? At least we're defending ourselves a little bit.
Yeah. Hogsteed kills Knife Juggler.
Yep. At least the coaching value in this game is going to be a lot greater than the previous one. It's a lot more to think about when you're desperately trying to not die. Oh god. It's a Jade deck.
We could cookie the Chow and make sure he has to dagger if he wants to kill our 4/4.
I agree with that. I don't think we get to be greedy. I think we need maximum tempo. Whoa. How does he slam dunk a fan there? Crazy.
Well, we play the piggy.
Play the piggy.
We sacrifice the piggy.
Oh, hopefully. Worst case scenario is he like Shadow Strikes and just domes us for 8.
That would too be a form of sacrifice, wouldn't it?
Better write this down.
Sort of, but that's like the worst. That's like sacrifice without meaning. Gotta keep on keeping on. We'll keep on hanging on or whatever. Ruby Egg's been more than fine at least.
Run! I will hold them off.
But yeah, our Rogue with Zombie Chow is absolutely insane. It's crazy that he has that.
He mispositioned. Not that it's gonna do us a lot of good.
Your magic shall not save
You can't believe he traded that? Yeah, I think the trade on the Scribe was absolutely terrible.
We just hero power.
Yep. Yeah, it's essentially try to not be dead next turn and then Call of the Wild and maybe. But can you see why I rate Unleash super high? It's like, there's so many cases where Unleash just saves you if you have this kind of start. Oh, man. Oh, he's trading so much. This is insane. What is he doing?
Wow.
What the fuck did I just watch?
I mean, this guy really is into giving other people chances, right?
Let me see. So his hand is Proud Defender, Vengeful Scroll, Chow, and I guess 2 top decks, right? 1 top deck and 1 card he's been holding. So if he plays the Taunt next turn, we're gonna have 2, because I mean we're playing Reporter and we're playing Nerubian, right? The problem is that all of our minions are gonna have 4 damage, and then Leok's gonna buff them to 5, so we're not gonna get through it. That's extremely annoying. Which means that next turn might not be Call of the Wild. Ugh. But yeah, I think we play Nerubian and Reporter. We might have to go Hunter's Mark next turn, I don't know. I hope that he actually trades this Reporter, because he's like, oh man, that's too dangerous. Gotta kill it, right? No, don't go face. What are you doing?
So we Hunter's Mark the 2/6. We play Cultmaster. We play Hogsteed. We kill the 2/6, or the 2/1 better. And then
almost, but that would be really bad because this Reporter will grow off our Cultmaster. So you have to mark and sack the pick first, then Cultmaster, then trade the Reporter. You see it?
Yep.
Okay. A mistake many people would make, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But it would suck so bad. Alright.
Very important that you pointed out nonetheless.
Yeah, and then sack the Nerubian into his guy. And then probably kill the 3/3 unless we draw something game-changing. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Alright, chat, be honest. Who would have grown the Reporter here? Because it's such an instinct play, right? Ah, Cold first, draw my cards.
Yeah, no
Let's
kidding.
go.
No kidding.
Okay. Oh my god, chat. Are we holding? Are we holding? We might be holding.
Wow. Okay. Call of the Wild. Our 1/1 kills his 1/1, and then we go face.
Our 1/1 will kill us 2/2, right? Because of Leok.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, and then we go face. Because he has Zombie Chow in the hand, right? We know this card. So we know he doesn't have lethal in store for us. So smack face for sure. The finish was green, you had to play it, Pepega. Yeah. He drafted a Jade deck, chat. This is what these are the people that draft Jade decks. You see why we don't draft Jade decks? Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. What the hell was that? Also, like, if he doesn't trade the scribe, there's so many points at which he wins the game. But,
We just dropped Cult Master.
yep. In Jade's defense, yeah, that's why I made it like this is the kind of guy that draft Jades. Because for every, don't keep that in mind, guys. For every guy that draft Jades you see at 6-7 wins, there's 10 guys at 2 losses that drafted Jades and it didn't work.
So the gist is don't draft Jade.
I mean, draft good Jade cards, but don't draft cards because they have Jade in their name. Jade Claws is a good card. Jade Lightning's a good card.
Shuriken is a good card, right?
Yeah, but he drafted 2 of the little guys, right, as well? Because I don't know what he skipped for that. Oh, wow. Smuggler's Crate. What is this? Creeper Face?
Creeper Face.
Yeah, guys, I mean, if the Jades happen, sure. But a lot of the time, people start drafting Jade Spirits. And the big Jade guy, right? The Jade Shaman, big boy. Or, even worse, in Druid, it's so bad as well.
So, Hogsteed kills his 3/3. That always happens.
Hogsteed goes in, I agree. Yeah,
Right.
and then we talk about which one
How
we
do
sack.
kill it? Do we pop our spider?
I think I'd use the shield because he has a lackey in his hand, and having a 1-2 is pretty good to kill the lackey. It also makes his Unleash the Hounds a lot better if we pop it.
Okay.
So those 2 reasons combined, because people can't resist playing the lackey, they have to see what's in the box, right? He's gonna play all the boxes here. Draft Jade Spirit? Nah. Yeah. Who would do that? Who'd do that? Yeah, Jade Blossoms. Exactly, right? Jade Blossom sucks so much. But people will pick it just because of the name is Jade. And the thing is, it's tricky because it doesn't mean you'd never draft Jades, because Jade Claws is a good card, Jade Shuriken's a good card, Jade Lightning's a good card, but just half the Jade cards are trash. Oh my god. A minor problem, one could say.
I think we have to unleash here, right?
Having to unleash is a strong way of saying it. I would probably just use the creeper in the 1-1, heal the creeper, hero power, push 2, and try to solve it next turn, but that's a bit of a riskier approach. But I feel like at 6 wins, if we unleash here, we're not gonna get there.
Okay.
I guess we could maybe even play around it a little bit. So yeah, 1-2 into the 1-1, socialite our creeper. We might have to preemptively sack 1 for unleash. I don't know. No, probably just push 2. It's fine. The real problem is if he unleashes us, right? He deals a lot of damage. But you need to take some risk sometime, right? That's not a bad idea, but let's throw a 1-1 into his frothing first, because it checks for numerous things. You can put the squire in. It's better for that to get frozen.
Yeah.
Give me a moment. Because you could just double trade as well, right? And just put the hog down. If we trade into that, we give him 3 things. We get 3 things. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Yeah, we can unleash. So 2-2 into the 1-2. Unleash. 2-2 into the 1-2 first, right? And then unleash. And then 3 1-1s into his. It should basically just clear his board. Yeah. And hero power, if if you can still do it. Good job. I was just thinking, it sounds a little meh to do that. But we have double unleash in the hand. And if we play Hog here and he has a good reply to Hog, it gets a bit eh. We also clear his board so he doesn't get to Houndmaster the Creeper and whatnot. What? He must have explosive. It still doesn't make sense with explosive, but I think he has explosive and it's causing him to misplay. Because he's like, hey, do you want to kill my Rhino? Here's my Rhino. Yeah, we kill it.
Want to kill the Rhino.
Yeah, for sure. We kill it and put the Hog Rider down. Yeah, he's just thinking, oh, I popped the Creeper because then they die to the explosive. It's like, oh, wait, I just killed my Rhino. Whoopsie. Explosive trap players are Pepe. I mean, it's one or the other. They're either really good or really bad, right, Camel? Sometimes a genius drafter recognizes this is an explosive trap deck. But yeah, those are probably different metas. A hunter with Applebaum. Shame on yourself. Not the explosive trap? I mean, why does he mark though if it's explosive? I mean, I'm not saying it's not, right? I'm just trying to get in. I'm just trying to think about what he's doing. Because it could still be a rat trap. I do think the chance for explosive is higher than for rat trap, but the chance for explosive just went down a little bit.
I think we're still checking for explosive and then playing Spectral Knight, right?
No, I don't want to give him 2 2/2s.
No? So we just play Spectral Knight and Hero Power?
Yep. These hyenas can be used to kill something first, right?
Spectral Knight in the center?
You can put him on an edge for Direwolf. I think it's more likely that. Because he doesn't want to explosive. I mean, yeah, he can explosive the middle hyena, but who gives a shit, right? He thinks you deadly shot the taunt. That was my first idea as well. It might have something to do with that.
Back to your homes.
Back to your homes.
Mind if I roll need?
Yeah, lots of things.
Yeah, I think it's still Call of the Wild here.
Is it?
Is it not?
So you do call and then what?
I do call, and then I kill his 4/3 with one of my 2/2s. I use my Huffer.
I'm gonna just do the turn and we can talk about it later, right? I think I want to unleash, so I would unleash here.
Okay.
And then just trade a 2/2 and a 1/1 into the 4/3. And 2 1/1s into the Hoarder. 4/6 into the 2/4 Hero Power Pass. I don't like using call and putting my Huffer into the explosive, right? That feels a bit too awkward for me. Also, if he has his unleash, everything gets divine. I mean, we're killing it, right? But it just, I don't know. It's like the main problem for me is that we're putting our Huffer into the explosive. Yeah, and just trade the trade the Kodo. Well, it's fine. It's okay. Let me pass. I don't want to play the bet here. Like, I think that there was an argument to sort of hold the Misha as a 5/4 contesting his guy. I think if he doesn't have a trap, that is definitely what we do. But with the trap, I don't know what I like. I don't know if I like it as much.
Well, I was briefly seriously contemplating using Hunter's Mark and on the hunt. But
Are you going face with something?
I'm going face with everything, and I'm ignoring the 2/7.
Let's go face with Iliok first then, right? And get confirmation that it is explosive. Okay. So now you see the board. It could make more sense to Hunter's Market.
I don't really want to Hunter's Mark that because I want to save my Hunter's Mark for something bigger.
Well, okay. So push 5 face, put this engine down, put the bat down, hero power, and then we talk. Look at it this way. If he plays a big guy, you're going to have 5 extra damage to kill it with. How big can it be, right? So I would actually mark it. Because it's just gonna kill him next turn, this play. And if he ends up playing a big guy, it's by default -5 health because the Misha's alive.
That's fair.
GG. That's a good roll for him, but not good enough.
Watch your back.
Let the hunt begin.
We want to drop the 4 and the 5. Keep the rest.
I think I'd throw the egg as well and just keep the AC. Because there's, you know, if we don't draw anything for the egg, it's just a dead card in hand for now. Nice. Yeah, he had a 10 drop in enter. So weird.
So we coin Creeper here?
Yep, I like the creeper. The creeper. Come on, pre-hit the creeper. Let's go. Prepping that fan, baby. Let's go. Alright, heal the creeper. Push 1. Let's go.
Okay.
No killing the creepers, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hit it again. Come on. There's no reason to, but it's just be funny. Yup.
We killed the 3/3, right?
Yup. Feels good, man. Curving. Feels good, man. Alright. Twilight Dragon. Let's go. Or Twilight Drake. Just give me the nuts every time, man. Give me the nuts every turn.
Really nice that you are not of the greedy type, right?
No.
He had one? Seriously? Do we just kill it off, the 1/5, using our chemist?
The breaker is tempting because it pushes. It's like battle cry, almost a kill command, right? Because it's silence the healing. But I think we have to play for board. So yeah, flip the 1/5, Leok in the mixtures, creeper in the 5/1. Good positioning as well.
Well, betrayal is still a card, right?
It's still good, but at least the 5/4 is not taking damage. Because if he goes like betrayal, SI, you're a cookie chemist. It's really bad. I guess what he could do is stab the 2/1 first, but then I guess you made him take 1 extra damage. So yeah, that's about as good as it gets. Turns out rogues are just pretty good at dealing with boards. You're breathing in the microphone a little, Buzz. I think sometimes. Not all the time, right? Just with heavy exhales.
That's virtually impossible because I'm so far away from the microphone.
Then a breeze is passing by or something is happening.
Well, my neighbors are moving stuff on the attic, so it could be that.
Oh, am I hearing that? Okay. Okay, my bad, my bad.
So sorry about that noise, guys, but we're still kind of lucky because they didn't scare my dog sufficiently to make him start barking, which would be way louder.
That's fine. It's just sometimes a minor noise here or there. Coaching's always a little less when big changes happen to the game. I want to first practice more.
This guy's toast.
Yeah, I was looking at that, but I mean, he still has to kill it, right? He still has to...
Yeah, it's just that, I mean, he's going to kill... Okay, look at it this way. If you unleash the beast into the 3-3, that's the one he trades with his 2-4. If you unleash the beast into the 2-4, he's going to kill the piggy with the 3-3. And I think if he has to end up like sapping Unleash the Beast or something, it's better for us. I don't know, it's just like minor consideration. You can Unleash the Beast and push 5, that always happens. I guess Argus, right? It's more annoying. No. I think you, yeah, okay. Kill that one and push 5. Because I think he always trades into whichever one, right? But now he might trade the piggy out of habit, and then I don't know. I don't think it matters. I honestly, I think it's more for Argus, and then
I thought that you were looking at the option of actually of keeping them
both alive.
5-3.
No, I think that you're quite happy to push 5. That's quite important.
So do we silence and animal companion here?
I'm trying to figure out what's better right now. I'd say there's 3 options. Silence always happens. So it'd be either Fiery Bat Hero Power, Carrion Grub, or Animal Companion.
Your magic shall not save
And 5 face always happens.
No. If you AC, you might hit a Leok. No, you miss one.
Right.
I think... So my reasoning would be this. I'd probably play Carrion Grub for now because if animal okay, this is it's a hard concept to put into words, but as Hunter, when you're losing the board, you should probably play the things that you know won't be able to hit face later on first. So I'd put Grub in the middle, push the 5. Because later on, if we high roll AC and get a Huffer, the Huffer always smorks. But if we're off the board and we play the Carrion Grub always gets stopped. So the Grub might get damage in now, but will never get damage in later. Whereas AC, if you hit the Huffer will always smork anyway. Right, and if he ends up trading, then the Grub didn't do damage no matter what. Ah! So he has a Lackey left? No, he doesn't have a Lackey left. He has a Blink Fox card left, and he has a card. This one's interesting, right? Because Unleash the Beast on the Bartender seems good to deny him the healing, but Savannah Highmane's stats make way more sense.
I think I prefer Savannah and Hero Power. Because Unleash just gives us a 5/5, right? And then we still need a way to deal
Well, we have
with
Unleashed Hounds in hand, so that wouldn't be too much of a problem.
Okay.
I think I would Unleash the Beast on the Bartender, yeah, just to deny him that. Because if he trades, we're pretty happy. If he goes face, then we'll just Hero Power, by the way. If he goes face, you might roll Leok and you don't even need to Unleash. But I mean, he'd need removal or a taunt, otherwise he wouldn't do it. Cookie Chemists, your presence is requested. Thinking if the AC is even good here. If like Fiery Bat Hero Power is not even better. I think that's probably better. I think high main Bat Hero Power. Because he doesn't really have the life total to tank the bat with the face. So it's an actual 2 damage thing. Not picking the Shovel Fist. Well, I mean, we're 7-1. I think we've done okay for ourselves so far. And it's only after he's had Miscreant Shadow Strike early. And now he's got a Saga that he's getting away with it. And we haven't lost yet, right? I'd say we're on track with our hero power. It's not too bad. I do think that is part of how we kill him, though.
Plus, you know, don't forget, he might always just use Vanish.
Oh, he's giving us a bigger unleash. He had a sap. Okay, so we're really happy we went for the other play earlier, right? Because he would have just sapped the high main, and that would have been that. That's a whole lot of dogs. Alright, so it might be a tricky turn, so let's use Animal Companion first and see what we hit, and then we can go from there. That is not a Leok. Oh boy. That is indeed not a Leok. Okay. I'm just gonna play this one if you don't mind, because it looks pretty annoying. So he's got 6 things. 7 mana. I guess I'd put the bat into his Sagoth and see what I hit. Good target. We're on 18. I don't think Dogs does it, right? I think I play High Main and Squire and hope that I can get there next turn with Houndmaster, with Shieldmaster and Hounds. Yep. Some tough rolls so far. He has to be a little bit afraid of dying as well, right? So we might even see him kill the High Main. Probably not, but I think what I would do if I were him is I might send the Bog into the Misha. We'll see if he wants to do that. Because I think Bog into Misha solves a lot of problems. But he might get greedy and save the Bog. Oh, he's playing around Unleash, cashing in 3 bodies. That's also fine. Oh, okay, no, this is worst of both worlds. I don't like this. Okay. That's good for us, though. That's good for us. Oh, could you fucking not? Dude. Sagat Safeguard. Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, so doing the math, we get 5 dogs. Mark, trade 1, trade... Do you see it or not?
No, I don't. But I guess Hunter's Mark on the safeguard always happens.
Yeah,
right?
mark the safeguard, but I don't think we get there. I think we're always 1 off. And then you can Hounds, that also happens. And then put a Hound into the safeguard. And then High Main and a 1-1 kill. Well, yeah, High Main and a 1-1 into the Sagoth. And then you kill the safeguard and play the Senjin and you die. Ah! Frustrating game. Holy shit. Oh, you can't even kill the safeguard. Yeah, we were 2 dogs off. GG! Honestly, that's such bullshit, right? What the fuck?
I will be right back. Give me
Okay.
1 minute.
See you in a bit, man. That is such bullshit here, chat. And he played that so poorly at the start as well. Oh my god.
Oh, he has a sap in his hand.
Yeah, he's sitting on the sap.
No, okay.
Let the hunt begin.
So we delayed our loss a little bit, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, I guess.
Nah, it's fine, it's fine. It's fine.
But,
That one's hard to argue.
well, you know. Okay, I don't mean to put up any pressure on you, right? But I did my part with 6-1, and you started off with your part on 1-1, right?
I mean, it's just more efficient to lose one and get the easier games, right?
Okay, I suppose. Yeah, plus, you know, I get more value out of the coaching session if it's
There
a
we go.
12-2 instead of a 12-0, right?
As long as you keep drawing me 1, 2, 3 curves, I got this. Any chat draft today? Yep. We drafted a Warlock deck.
And you know, super weird, but I didn't do anything, and Deck Tracker updated itself, so I'm not getting the no card message anymore.
Alright. Get him, Misha. Yeah, sure.
We killed the 1-1 totem, right?
We can use the bubble, yeah. How did the chat draft go? It's currently 0-1, Ba. The mage before that went 7 wins. You can use exclamation mark Twitch chat to see what's going on. That's a pretty good board, knowing that he's got 2 mana. Alright. Egg hero power, push to 6. Next turn play high main.
Place the egg though.
Add an edge, so far left will do. And that is for Direwolf, of course, right?
Yeah.
Death rattles don't go in the center, they mess up the positioning for Direwolf. Something tells me we're not going to high main here.
So it's a twin spell?
Yep. I mean, you knew that one, right? It's like, my opponent played a 4/5 taunt. If only I could get rid of it in an efficient manner. Yeah, I really like having Unleash the Beast at the top end of my curve in a mid-range hunter. It's just very, very useful. And the egg makes Lightning Storm and Hagata's scheme a lot worse for him, so it's very nice.
It's high main, it's not Rocketeer.
Rocketeer's not complete silliness, but yeah, high main. Because you could make the argument, well, if I Rocketeer him now, even if he taunt spams me, I can still kill him. But you have a cookie, you have a rush guy in your hand, so you should still just play for the board. Neither of those have taunt them, man. Alright, GG's. Yeah, 4-mana 7/7 against Hunter. That's a tricky thing to do.
Your soul shall be mine. Let the hunt begin.
We toss it all.
Yep. Hey, I thought we were looking for early game. What the hell? Alright, we'll just keep top decking 2s and 3s and we're fine.
Greetings, traveler.
Greetings, traveler. Alright, I'll keep it up. Boop. So now, I guess Animal Companion. I mean, if you have to, an Arubian Egg is also fine. Buzz, what the hell, man? What is this crap?
Do we trade or do we go face?
You tell me.
He's a warlock, I just want to go face.
Absolutely, hit him in the face. If you trade, it's very, very likely just healing him for 4.
I want to kill the 3/2, and then I want to cookie the Voodoo Doctor.
Yeah, the annoying thing is that we still spawn a 1/1, so he still gets a very clean trade there, but I do agree. Yep.
I mean, the alternative would be to cookie the Bartender, right?
Yeah, but it just means that the Pixie can free kill the 1/1, and then he just has more power. So I think if you cookie the 2/1 and kill the Pixie. It's a difference of 2 extra power.
Yeah.
It's better this way. What do you... Yeah, I mean, we're a hunter. So when you're a hunter, Timo, you should find a reason to trade, not a reason to go face. So it's the reverse world. Think of, okay, what could he possibly do here to make me really sad? And then still you need to play the odds. You can't just think of a thing and then be like, oh, well, because he could potentially have that, I have to trade. Because being damage off lethal in the end is also a way to lose the game. So it's very easy to notice when you got punished for going face. It's a lot harder to notice when you get punished for trading. I'm assuming you're playing the piggy and then we talk about killing the bartender or not, right?
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh, I misread the description.
I thought you were joking. Yeah, it's a druid card. It's a druid card.
Oh, I thought it was the effect that he got a copy of the spell.
Oh, well, we could still go face here, right? But I'm inclined to kill bartender just because it keeps healing. Because he's gonna find a way to keep it alive, right? So I think I would kill it, yeah. It's just annoying. Now we are in the shaman's position where we are defending and we just have one big guy at a time and he has a swarm of little guys. At least he's played both his lackeys and the discovered spell, so it's a little less from here. Yep, I mean... Come on, man. Trade the high main. Well, we have Call of the Wild in the hand. Got 2 high mains. It's slow, but maybe we'll get there. Oh my god, dude. Could people stop having this fucking thing?
So I want to kill his safeguard.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hunt down his 1/1, and I want to play high main.
I'm okay with all those things. At least the safeguard is a bad tempo play, so we're slowly getting ahead on board, but it's at the cost of health, and he still has the spread, and at any moment he can have an abyssal and swing things in his favor. So at least the high mains are pretty annoying to deal with for an abyssal.
Would
The best
be awesome to draw into our Unleash the Beast now.
That'll be fine. Unleash the Hounds is probably going to be pretty okay as well. Cookie Chemist is a pretty good draw as well. Kills a 1/5 outright. So Unleash the Hounds is looking better all of a sudden. A little bit of Unleash the Hounds. Let's go, baby.
No.
Well, we still cast it, right? Let's see what we get. Probably just dumping all our cards here.
Could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so our 6/1 kills the taunt, then our 6/5 kills the 1/1, and we dump our other cards.
Yep. Yeah, this is sort of out of our control now. Just play cards and hope it ends up well. At least the Argent Squire is a pretty annoying minion for him here because of the 5/5 being on 1 HP. So Squire might end up tanking 4 damage here. On the other hand, he probably wants... It's like, okay, first of all, like, we hope we're not dead, right? But probably not dead. Second is, we hope he doesn't have an Abyssal, because he can probably make an board that sort of makes sense for Abyssal. If he has neither of those things, it might be okay-ish, because it turns out that high mains are pretty difficult to deal with without AoE. And there is just a straight-up Call of the Wild in the hand.
Well, at least this board is going to make him think if he has more than one option, right?
Okay, this feels like he's got it, right?
Yeah, but still, if he doesn't have a second one to follow it up. So we use...
Definitely Call of the Wild, and then we talk, right? Yeah.
Okay. So I want to Huffer and Argent his 6/6, and the 5/1 goes.
The reporter always goes face, right? Because she's just strictly superior to Huffer, seeing as she's gonna grow. I would probably ship it all face, but I'm thinking about it. So Shadow Flame is an obvious beat, but if we trade here, because a Shadow Flame is absolutely devastating, I'd still go face. I think we need to try and get there. Because a second Abyssal is gonna put.
He has Shadow Flame. He probably is gonna have a smaller minion as well.
Yeah, that's my point, right? We don't outright lose. Whereas a lot of the time when you do this and you Shadow Flames, you do outright lose. But the fact combined that he's on 9, we're a hunter, and he probably doesn't have the mana to develop a big boy, it's probably okay. And if he has another Abyssal, he goes to 6, and he has to kill off his own guy. So that's the point. Because the other concern would be Abyssal, right? You have Abyssal, Hellfire, and Shadow Flame. Shadow Flame is the worst one. But the Abyssal and the Hellfire are both fine, because he still takes the damage. Alright, there we go. Woo!
Your soul shall be mine. Let the hunt begin.
Just toss the mark, keep the rest? Or do you want to toss the egg as well?
I think once again right now I don't see the egg yet. So I think just Squire Grub, look for an animal companion and get that curve going. Yep.
That's pretty decent.
Well, someone in chat asks what your average is if you're tracking it right now. If not, no worries.
No, I'm not tracking.
Okay.
Because most of the time I'm playing on my mobile. So.
Yeah, no worries. So you could coin the Grub, but I think playing the Steed is better. Looks like we might need to coin Unleash the Beast with this hand.
Yeah, I just wanna play the Grub and keep pushing face because I mean,
Yep, I agree.
if he plays Tentacles or something like that, then we can just unleash.
Looks like we are coining 6s with this hand, so doing our best to bridge that gap. Very awkward turn 4, and then pretty good 5 and 6.
Wanna blow something up?
Wow.
My man Bomber right there. That seems to happen more than it should though, right? Like, if you get unlucky, everything goes on to the same guy. I don't know. Maybe that's just me recognizing or remembering those ones, but that feels like it happens more than it should.
We unleash.
I don't know. Hawksteed is 2 points of power. Unleash is 3 points of power. And Hawksteed eventually is 3 power as well, right? And you get the hero power.
Okay.
So I think I just Hawksteed hero power. And then you can dictate the trades. Yeah, okay, that's
So
fine.
2/5 and
Yeah, as long as the 2/5 goes in the Void Walker, we're fine.
yeah. Now, I think we killed the 3/3, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for sure. A chat draft's happening every day until the next nerf comes in, because then I want to test and make a meta report. But until then, yeah, pretty much every day. We've already got the fear in him. He's not tapping anymore. It's good.
So our Murloc kills his 4/1. And we coin Unleash the Beast.
I think I'm perfectly happy if he wants to free kill my 1/1. I just jam a high main here.
Right? Okay.
Yep. It's tough to get high main developed, right? So anytime it doesn't look terrible, I jam the high main.
Okay.
Especially, you know, if it's a rogue, he might sap you. But a warlock can't do much to a high main, as we saw previous game. So, because next turn it might be an even better Unleash the Beast. And then I'm gonna wish I had a high main hitting him in the face already. If he plays a thing, we might unleash the hounds rather than the beast. Why are you not playing a thing, man? Why you not play thing?
Well, I would still Unleash the Beast, kill his 3/1. And push 6 face.
It's a tricky turn. So look at his mana. What are we afraid of?
Okay.
Because the trade you suggested gets wiped, right?
Yeah.
So the goal is to keep high main from getting popped. So Abyssal will always leave us with the puppies. So then how can you trade?
I don't see it.
Just unleash the beast into the 5/2. It feels terrible, but it's okay. And then just jam 6 face. So the instinct play is absolutely make the trade you suggested. But given that we are playing a Warlock and Abyssal is a very common card, we should respect it here.
But he still gets to pop it, right?
Yeah, but we get 2 2/2s, right? So he's on 12, he takes 3, he's on 9, we have 4, he's on 5, then we just Rocketeer and kill him. Yeah, I would just report a hero power.
Gadgets and Gazette always.
Because if he is so low health that he can't play Abyssal, it's a dead card, and turning one of the best cards in the game into a dead card is really good for us.
Yeah.
So this is where Hunter gets really tricky, because it's not always the hero power. Sometimes you can't afford it. But I think a lot of the time I look at my own health. I'm like, okay, I'm at 27. I should probably be able to tank this, right? I think after the healing, I'm even happier we did what we did. Because if he gets an additional 2 health here, it looks a lot better for him.
We unleash and hero power and push 2 face.
Let's say the full name of the card, just because we have both unleashes in hand, right?
Right.
The beasts, right? Okay,
We
yeah.
unleash the beast.
Yeah, unleash the beast and push forward. I agree.
Never skip day.
Maybe it's weird, but I would play Rocketeer and hero power. And Creeper.
We only have 9 mana, so... Not that that's bad, because the creeper is whatever, right? I'm just thinking how we lose, right? Like Broodmother top deck or Traveling Healer in the hands. Whether we take too much damage off the Shovel Fist is my point. But that would mean he still needs to deal a damage, right? So I like Rocketeer Hero Power. And I'm just thinking if I on the hunt just for the body. Yeah, I think I on the hunt his face. Because the baseline is he has to heal, right? That is the #1 thing. If he doesn't heal, we win the game. So I'm thinking, okay, if he has 1 more damage like a coil, he can kill the Rocketeer without sacrificing his Shovel Fist. And the goal is for us to not take 9 to the face. So I think that's why on the hunting him is better, because it means that there's a larger chance the creeper will not trade the Rocketeer, and that's the goal here. The goal is to funnel the 9/7 into the Rocketeer after he heals. Good.
Better write this down.
GG.
Yeah, plus there is also a specific scenario with the bartender where that 1 damage actually might matter.
Well, you shoot him next turn, so it doesn't, like in there, it doesn't matter. But I think that, because their decks are constructed to attack, not defend, which is why I love Unleash the Hands right now, because it's a dual card. It can both provide lethal at the end, and it can defend you. So.
We just keep the Undertaker?
Yep. Let's get a Haunted Creeper. Or a Hawksteed, I guess. Or a Fiery Bat and a Hawksteed. That's also fine. So there's an option for some aggressive lines here, right? With coin the 2 1s. So Undertaker always happens, because, you know, everything revolves around that.
Yeah, but I think playing Fiery Bat now is pretty good.
It's definitely not bad. The only problem comes that your curve gets a bit awkward, because turn 3, you see it, right? It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
I still think you coined the bat. I think it's worth the awkwardness on the curve. It's massive pressure early. Oof. Oof. Okay. Very nice.
So now it's the Wolf.
So Haunted Creeper deals half the damage the Wolf does, because it buffs, well, right now. Next turn, Wolf deals 1 more with its body. But I think the flexibility of having Haunted Creeper developed trumps the 1 extra damage the Wolf provides. So, and where are you going to put it?
On the far right.
Sure, far right is fine. I think maybe even for, like, this is like nitpicking, right? But I'm thinking if we top deck a Call of the, or Animal Companion goes on the right. So I think maybe it's better to put it on the far left, the creeper, but it's really, really nitpicking at that point. I think I put the bat into the smuggler, and if the ping hits, I finish it off with Haunted Creeper. If not, I Hawksteed him. Yeah, and then the Undertaker will grow. And this is sort of where the curve is a little bit better if we get to play a 2 and a 1. Interesting. Yeah, okay, so see? He actually fucked us up with the creeper positioning, right? Yeah. But it's minor, and it's good that we see it in action. All right.
Okay, so we play the dog between the Spellbreaker and the Creeper, and then we kill off his Hecklebot. And then
Almost.
I guess... Pardon me?
Almost. Next turn he's got 5 mana, so Warpath deals 2 damage. So it's probably better to preserve a 3 health minion over a 2 health minion. So essentially it's everything the same, but you're sacking Undertaker instead of Breaker. You see why, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. And then we can talk about hero power versus socialite. What do you think?
I think we should start getting hero power in because we
I
don't
think
have...
hero power is fine, yeah. I think he probably wants to still warpath this Direwolf. I think he's been waiting for Haunted Creeper to pop. Although the breaker makes it really annoying that he can't warpath.
I can't see anything with this helmet.
So I'll play this turn and we'll evaluate after, right? So you can put the grub on the far left. You can press the hero power button. And everything except the 1/1 goes phase. And then we can talk about popping the bubble. No, talk about it. Okay, I guess we're not talking about it. I think it's okay because... No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
The bubble?
Say again?
I guess we don't talk about popping the bubble.
I guess we don't. No, right. I guess we don't. I was thinking the chance to kill him increases a little bit by not popping the bubble. But popping the bubble makes the warpath for us a lot better. So, I think this ended up the superior line. So, good on us. Ah. Good job, Buzz. The coaching is paying off. The high main on curve is very nice here.
Yeah. That's the one thing you taught me. Top deck.
Yeah, GG's. I guess it's the most unique class, Hunter, just because the hero power opens up very different lines of play.
We toss it all.
Yep.
Isn't there any more digging for gold music?
Ah, there is digging going on just now, but you might not be able to hear it.
No, I don't hear it.
Like my, you only hear it if it loops back through my speaker, like through my mic.
So we play the egg now.
Yes, we do. And then we hope he plays the rush 2-1 and doesn't pop the egg, of course. Oh, okay, that's also fine.
I'm thinking if it's not better to play Creeper now.
Well, a lot of, and this is a tricky thing to look at, right? Because you look at this and like, he kills my Direwolf with his 2-1, is it really good? Anything that doesn't involve popping the egg means you're down a 4-4 next round. So it means that your 4-4 will not, let's say he rolls a Leok, right? Your 4-4 just gets to kill it. So it's very good to have it available. Yep.
No, I was more thinking about him killing the 4-4 now.
Oh, you mean him rolling him rolling Misha, or?
No, him using his 2-1 and his 2-2 to...
Oh, okay, but that would be totally fine. Because then you just drop a reporter, right? And he has no pressure.
Okay. So that's what we do, right?
Yeah, that's what we do. Houndmaster is a little bit of a punish, but I think that we probably don't want to go Hawk's Teeth Creeper if we can jam a reporter. Mark Shot into Mark Shot. Okay, okay. Hey, Finland Cat.
So we just drop our small minions.
Probably. We'll give it a little bit of a moment. Okay, moment's up. Yep. You can put the Creeper on an edge and the Squire on an edge. Because they both... Oh, actually Direwolf's dead. Doesn't matter. But you would see why, right? Just to... if the 1/1 is in the middle, you can dog and get the damage on everything. If the creeper's in the middle, we can't.
Right.
But the dog is dead, so it's whatever.
So we high main and push face?
We high main and go face. You picked the Infest, okay. I'm not a fan of that kind of playstyle. Anything that doesn't involve high main hitting him in the face is a little sad for me.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Oh, you're clearing with Unleash.
I'm clearing with Unleash, yeah.
We'll do the play I saw first, but I'm not sure because of time, right? We're gonna rope soonish. So I want to cookie his Crocodile and kill it with our Murloc and the bubble. And I want to free kill a 1/1 with my Creeper. And then I want to just hero power and push 8 phase. Because we are playing a Smork versus Smork matchup here, right? So I think that the full clear play where we use Unleash is too conservative. And I think that the full phase play is too reckless. So this is a bit of an in-between. You also develop a 4/4, so the 3/4 body is really not as impactful. And then you have Rocketeer in your hand. You're technically threatening lethal. He'll probably kill a 1/1, right? So you won't, but... Yeah, this is okay, right? Like, if he wants to play it slow like this, we'll just keep jamming. But I like this half and half line because it doesn't give him an aggressive option. And it allows us to be really smorky.
So our 1/1, the bubble, or the X bubble, hits face.
I agree.
Test for explosive. Okay. Ooh. Well, 7, 12. We jam 14 face.
Very likely. I'm just counting if there's some weird stuff he can do to kill us. Because we'll have 4 minions, right? So dogs is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus hero power is 9, plus kill command is 14. Okay. Yeah, Rocketeer hero power. Because even the most bullshit doesn't kill us here. Anything more bullshit than that, I'm unwilling to play around. Now, if we had played Bat over hero power, the Unleash KC would be lethal, so that would be bad.
Was that his 4th or his 5th mark?
It's the second one in his deck, but he pulled 2 additional mark shots with the first one, so it's the 4th one, yeah. GG. Control Hunter smorked? Yeah. I feel like the hunters that just stacked marked shot, they're not real hunters. Oh, there's a bit of feedback there. Ah, it's whatever. Yep, we can see. Yep.
So, thank you very much.
No worries, man. It was fun. It's always nice to coach a hunter.
And yeah, I shall hit you up soon for our next coaching run.
Yeah, just let me know. All right, man. Have a good one.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too.